What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to first week recap. And basically, on here, what I do is pretty much talk about um, some of the events that transpired over the week, and basically just give a recap on what I was trying to accomplish, what I was able to do out there when I was fishing, answer some of your questions, and definitely have a discussion about the fluke, why I like it so much, why I only tend to fish with the fluke. I got other things in my tackle, but I just choose to stay with the fluke, and that's why I'm the fluke king. So, I'll just be here, just talking about a few things. But just to give you a little recap on what was going on during the week. So, I ended up joining a bass club, and I'll be fishing tournaments. So you'll start to see some of that footage for those who, the tournament officials that allow me to during those tournaments. You'll see some of that going on. Also, I looked into investing into a boat, so I'll be out there on the water and on my own vessel pretty soon. So got a lot of work to do with that. So we'll see what's going on. So basically, throughout the week, what I ended up doing was in preparing for this trip. I didn't like how my last trip went at Spano Park. So preparing for this trip, I pretty much wanted to come out with a few fish caught for the content to give to you guys. But as well as I really wanted to kind of explain fishing in hydrilla. Now, typically I had to do a little research myself, you know what I mean, get a little information and see the difference between good hydrilla, bad hydrilla. Um, and where I was fishing at Spano Park, that's actually really good hydrilla because it's real crisp and green. But the bass are busting shad, chasing shad over the top of it. So the fluke is definitely a really good lure for that type of environment, especially when you hook it weedless, because you're able to get in places where your crankbaits and sometimes your jigs will catch a lot of the debris in the grass when the fluke won't. So it'll get right in there. One thing that I found out and I learned really good. So Carolina rig, not really too big up on it. I do not like fishing deep. I do not like, you know, getting in there and hard. I like finesse fishing, and the fluke allows me to do that. So um, I set up a Carolina rig. I had about a 2 foot leader on there, swivel bead, red bead, with a. I didn't have a tungsten bullet weight on there, but I had a bullet weight on there. But it was like a burgundy and black spotted weight. Um, Threw out there a few times. Was able to have my fluke do what I wanted it to do, which was get down in a hydrilla. And to my surprise, that weight did not catch a lot of hydrilla. It actually moved through there pretty smooth. I just didn't have enough patience to deal with it. I'm not too fond of a fisherman that likes getting on the bottom. I get it to where it suspend a little bit. Probably getting there where those bass was kind of in and out the cover, ambushing the shad. But throwing the fluke weightless still got me some really good results. Now, one thing that kind of surprised me is, typically in clear water, you want to use the more lighter lures, the pearl whites, the chartreuse, the yellows, the oranges, the clear. Those right there, I did not really have any any action whatsoever. So I always tell you when I'm on clear water, I start off with the white ice. Um, I love that fluke. To be quite honest with you, it's my favorite. I've caught plenty of bass on it, but uh, didn't really get enough bites. Didn't really get a lot of action. Nothing like that. So for me, um, I started to feel a little, unease. I was kind of out of my element because I was like, well, here we are, and my favorite fluke isn't working. So fortunately, I also have many other flukes. So I said, you know what, man? Last time when I was fishing over here, I kind of liked how the smoking silver looked in the water. Now it's black with a bunch of silver flake, and when I'm when I was just playing with it in the water and seeing the action plus how the color looks, I was surprised that it kind of looks like when you see the shad or any type of bait fish and it kind of flutters and you see a real quick shine of it, then it disappears. That's what it looked like when I was moving it around in the water. So when I said, you know what, let me try this, tried that, and to my surprise, man, I was getting bite after bite after bite. I was unsuccessful on a few of my hookups, um, but the two that I did caught, they were relatively small. One of them, he swallowed the whole thing. I mean, he bit that thing and he took it all the way down. I had to keep him. Ended up, cooking him and not letting him go to waste. But I really wanted to let him back, but I just could not get that hook out of there. However, and then the second one, now it was kind of funny because when I hooked him, I thought I had him in a jar or something, but I actually had him skint on the side, which is like I don't know if he was going for the bait and something happened, or I just came across him and hooked him. So either way, he was caught. I was able to get the hook out successfully without maximizing the damage on him, and he was swimming fine. Didn't see him float anywhere or anything like that. So um, yeah, so for me, smoking shad, man. I mean, smoking silver. I'm adding that one to my repertoire for the midday. I'm talking anywhere after 12, maybe 12 to about 3, 4 o'clock. Um, I'm thinking about trying to go more with a darker profile with a lot of flake or shining flake on it. I also have another one. I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it kind of resembles the color of a crawdad. So it's a dark green with a red flake, and that one there I think I'm gonna start using too, especially in areas where I see that there's crawfish around, and there's a few areas that I've been where it looks like there's quite a few crawfish. So I'm gonna end up using that again. But during the middle of the day, I'm telling you, when it comes to the flukes, darker profile, lot of flake. It kind of the sun's shining right over the top of the water. Those fish are looking up. Darker profile isn't too hard on the eyes, so it's kind of subtle as bait fish are in the water naturally. So, but yeah, so that was this week's recap. I appreciate all those who tuned in. I'll be trying to do this every Sunday. At some point, it'll fluctuate. Hopefully, we'll get the 3:30 to maybe the 3:35 timeline set in stone. You guys can tune in, log in. I'll tell you a little bit about what I've been going through the week. Also, tell you about a few up and coming things. I will have the shirt soon, so look for my next episode to see if I got it done. I'm waiting on one of my partners to reach out to me and let me know when it's okay for me to come through so he can do the design. But also, I'll be working on that boat as well as trying to get ready for the tournament. I have a tournament coming up in November, as well as hopefully I'll make it to another one this month. at the Delta, the big Delta. That's right. So once again, this has been the Fluke King, and I'm out. I appreciate you guys tuning in.